One of the worst feelings you can have as an entrepreneur is the pain of rejection you experience when somebody ghosts on you after hearing how much you charge for your product or service. It's like the sales conversation seems to be going totally fine and dandy up until that point. But then once you reveal the price and you tell them how much it's going to cost, the conversation takes a sharp turn for the worse, and it's like they hit the mental eject button and they just try to get out of the conversation as soon as possible. And what most people do is they hold on because they feel like they're so close to making a sale. But by that point, usually the harder you hold on, the more they try to get away. And it's kind of already over. You lost them. This experience leaves most entrepreneurs confused and bewildered because they can't understand why the conversation just blew up all of a sudden. Everything was fine and dandy until they revealed the price. And so they think, oh, well, that must be the problem. The price is too high, right? Wrong. That's not the problem. That kind of thinking only leads to a downward spiral where you're constantly cutting the price, trying to undercut the competition and be cheaper than everyone else. And before you know it, you're struggling to even make a profit. You can't get by. And when that happens, it won't be long before you're out of business. So what you need to know is that price objections are merely a symptom of an underlying problem. And here's a short story that's going to help explain why. I remember shortly after going into business for myself, I got my first inbound sales call from a cold prospect. And how exciting. I had spent all this money on advertising and done all this work for marketing and promotion to try to promote myself and boost my business. And I was so elated to finally have the opportunity to present my proposal to someone, to make a pitch and try to get the sale. I had recently done a complete overhaul of my offer and pricing structure, and I had spent all this time tweaking it and testing it and, spending money to have, nice graphic design and brochures and materials and all the sorts of stuff. And I thought, there's no way someone can say no to me because it just looks so good, right? I mean, how could you say no? That'd be impossible, right? And what's more, I wasn't charging a premium either. I was just a little bit above average, but it was a completely fair offer. I didn't think that there would be, any pricing objections whatsoever. And the sales call started off well. It really did. They were excited about the prospect of working with me and all the things that I could do for them to help them solve their problem. And it seemed to be going really, really good. But then once it came time to talk numbers, it's like their attitude totally changed. It was all good up until that point. And, after I revealed the price, it's like suddenly the call fell silent, and it was like kind of nerve wracking. And when you're on the phone with somebody like that, it's like, oh yeah, the silence is killing everybody. And, all of a sudden they came up with this objection and they just like totally stalled on me. He said, well, I didn't really plan on making any decisions today, and we're still just kind of shopping around. I'm not sure if we're going to do it, and, we're just going to take some time to think about it. What? Like, after that amazing sales presentation I just gave? Like, you were so excited a minute ago. What happened? These people were chomping at the bit just a moment ago, and it's like now they've totally changed their tune. Like, what's going on here? And like most people, I chased after them and thinking that, I was going to be able to somehow save the sale and, use some closing technique or something like that on them. But none of it mattered, man. Like, that didn't help at all. I had totally lost them. I even came back to them like a day later and tried like offering some huge discount, like, nearly cutting my price in half and thinking that that was somehow going to save the sale, but it didn't. That didn't work either. And, I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out how it had all happened. Like, what was the problem here? I kind of moped around for a bit, questioning my own self-worth. Maybe I never should have gone into business for myself. Maybe I just suck. Maybe I'm really not that good after all. And trying to find something to kind of point the finger and blame at for why the deal would just blow up all of a sudden. And the experience made me feel like maybe I wasn't worth what I was charging. I thought the price was fair and it was, kind of market average, but maybe I wasn't that good. And, just like all the wind got took out of my sails, and I began questioning the entire thing. And, has that ever happened to you? Have you ever questioned the value of your product or service after experiencing a price objection for it? Have you ever questioned your own worth when somebody gives you a price objection or just kind of ghosts on you after hearing how much you charge? I know that I have plenty of times, and it's a terrible feeling. So if you're going through it now or have been through it before, I'm sorry, amigo, that must suck. I know how you feel. To avoid ever feeling this way again, what most people do is lower their prices, thinking that, well, I got a price objection, so that must have been the problem. So if I lower this down, it's going to solve everything and everything is going to be okay. But that is a mistake. And here's why. Because by lowering your prices, all you really do is lower your own feelings of self-worth as a person, as a business person, as an entrepreneur. It doesn't do anything to actually solve the underlying cause of it all. Like I said earlier, price objections are merely a symptom of an underlying problem. So then, what is it? What's the problem? Here's the problem. Focusing on the what instead of the who. And here's what I mean by that. In a crowded marketplace like today's economy, there are few options to distinguish yourself from other offers in the marketplace. And even if you do, it won't be long before your competition copies you. They do the same features and benefits, they make an offer just like yours, they start selling the same kind of thing, etc. And this is often why it can feel like everyone is offering the same thing and there's no way to differentiate yourself and stand out from your competition. They're doing the same thing you are. They're offering the same features, benefits, and advantages to consumers that your offer does. So with so many voices clamoring for attention, how do you raise your voice above all the static and noise? How do you stand out in a crowded marketplace where every offer seems the same? If differentiating the offer is no longer the solution, then what is? Differentiating the person offering it by building your personal brand. Remember that all businesses are people businesses. We have a relationship with the people that we do business with, not so much the company or faceless corporation. And we're moving towards an economy where the who matters much more than the what. And here's why understanding that is so vital to your success. Without a profound preference from consumers to purchase products and services specifically from you, customers will be of increasingly lower sustainable value. Because when every offer is the same and consumers can't tell the difference, why pay more? No one will. Retail giants like Walmart and Amazon already understand this, which is why they offer their own brand name products to help pilfer customers from other brands out in the marketplace. Okay? Walmart has its great value brand that offers almost every household item you can think of at lower prices than brand name competitors. And Amazon is doing the exact same thing with Amazon Basics. It even says it right there on their website. Everyday items, low prices. Or in other words, everything's a commodity and we sell it the cheapest. And these huge corporations have a giant advantage over everyday entrepreneurs like you and me. They have all this data and seeing which product is the most popular, which features and benefits are the best, what are people buying the most of, how do they buy them, why do they buy them, what's getting the best reviews. And then they just take that item and copy it with the same features and benefits and advantages, and they offer it for a little bit less because they're making it. They don't have to ship it to the store or the warehouse or anything like that, okay? And that's why this is becoming such a challenge in a commodity marketplace with household items, toilet paper, paper towels, motor oil, you name it. So then, if you can't prevent your competitors from making an offer similar to yours and selling theirs for cheaper, what can you do to make consumers purchase your offer instead? You have to create a strong preference for them to purchase specifically from you. And the best way to do that is to create a bond with them, a strong relationship built on trust and affinity. How do you do that? By building your personal brand. In every industry, there are people who get paid very little and people who get paid a whole lot more to do basically the exact same thing. And rarely is there a proportional difference in their core competency or skill. Because you could be the best chef in the world, but if no one knows who you are, you're not going to be able to charge the same sort of high prices that celebrity chefs like Gordon Ramsay and Wolfgang Puck can charge. It's the strength of the brand, your personal brand, that determines what you can charge, not necessarily what you're offering or even the results it gets. Remember, it's the who that you're selling, not the what. Things all started to change for me in my own business when I started putting a lot more emphasis on promoting myself and who I was rather than the product or service. Once I put the proper personal branding strategies into place, and tactics to build a strong personal brand with my audience of people who were interested in the offer that I might have for them, price was no longer an issue. Why? Because it was me that they were hiring. I was the value, not necessarily my offer or what I could do for them. It was the chance to work with me. And better yet, when you build a strong personal brand like this, you're irreplaceable. Your competitors can do everything they want to copy your exact system, your processes, your features, your benefits, your marketing, and everything else. But they can't replicate you. You cannot be copied. More importantly, neither can the relationship that you have with your prospects and your audience. That is irreplaceable. And when you do that, you will effectively become a market of one. There's you and there's everybody else. There's no competition. You're the only option for your customers because they've developed a bond with you, they trust you, they feel connected to you, they have an affinity for your brand, and that's something your competitors can't offer. And when you build that, price will no longer be an issue because it's all about doing business with you. So then, want to know how you can do that too in your own market? Then I'd like to invite you to check out a free copy of my book, Personal Branding for Entrepreneurs. You'll learn how to break through all the competition and stand out in the marketplace by building your personal brand and making it stronger than all of your competition. And you'll get the exact steps that I use to do this in my own industry. I went from, dead broke, not being able to get customers, trying every product, service, offer, fancy gadget under the sun to try to make it work. And then when I finally started building my personal brand using the strategies in this book, everything changed. And it can change for you too. And best of all, it's free. You got nothing to lose. It's my gift to you for watching this video and engaging in the comments below. To check it out and see what it's all about, head over to my site, wesblackwell.com. I'll put a link down in the description below and you can click on it and go straight there. If you've liked this video, if you found it helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with somebody else who might find it valuable as well, and you'll get more of these same kind of tips and videos in the future. And until next time, this is Wes Blackwell signing off. See you next time.